Okay. Hey cuties! So today I'm going to be doing a story time because a few days ago one of my friends just brought this up to me and they didn't even know the situation, and it all came together, and I will tell you exactly what that means right now. So basically, when I was a kid, my family did like fast food nights like once a week. I know that's bad, but like besides the point, not the story. So I'm not gonna say which fast food place or this person's name, but I'm just gonna let you guys know what happened. My mom and I went to go pick up food for the whole family one day. Shit's falling. It's dead. We're the only people in the drive-thru. And this night it was blizzarding. It was very cold and windy and just horrible weather in Canada. Cool. Like it was just like blistering cold. Blistering? Blustering? So we order our food for four, my mom, my dad, my brother, and myself, and we drive up to the drive-thru. And at this time, my parents didn't really have a lot of money back then. I'm not saying they were poor or anything. I mean, it's not a shame if you don't have a lot of money. Like, I'm just trying to say that we wanted to make sure that we got all the food that we paid for and ordered. Do you guys know what I mean? Because, like, what we gave our money for, we wanted in return, right? Okay, cool. So we go order, we go up to the window. The girl was a little bit, like, kind of, hey, you know, bitchy at the starting, but it was fine. We understand. Like, it's cool. Like, you probably don't want to be working there. Maybe you do. I don't know, but just same, the vibes I got was she just didn't want to be working there, which is fine. So we pull up to the window and she doesn't even say hi. She just goes like this for the money, and we're like, okay. So we gave her the money, goes whatever, doesn't say still one word to us, goes to the back and is like laughing. You can like see in the window, you guys have been through a drive-thru before, you can like see them like waiting for the food at the back, and she's like laughing and giggling and like, oh my god, and like blah blah blah, like talking and talking, which is good. Have fun at work, boo, you do you. But honestly, like, we're sitting there, we're waiting in the drive-thru part when we're actually after we paid for like 20 minutes. What the heck? There's a guy hanging off a car out my window. There's always some crazy stuff happening outside my window and I can't even. Like, is he okay? Oh, they're having fun. Like, that's not, you could die. Like, just saying, you could die. We're waiting and waiting and waiting, and we're like, awesome, like, this is cool. Like, it's completely dead in there. Like, what is even the holdup? So my mom told me to get out and look to see how many people were inside. So I get out and I look to see how many people were inside. Literally zero. I'm not kidding you. Zero people inside. So like, what is possibly taking so long for like 4 sandwiches, 4 fries, and 4 drinks? Like, I'm not sure. Can I just say that I really appreciate people who do work in the fast food industry. I know it can be stressful. I know it's long hours. It's hot. You don't want to be there. Maybe some people do want to be there, but I'm just saying, like, I get it. I always have lots of respect for people that do work in that industry because I love me some fast food. Like, don't get me wrong. No matter what job you're working in, if you're giving terrible customer service, then you deserve to be like, then you deserve to be like called out on it. I feel like if you're giving shitty service, then you deserve to be told like you're doing something shitty. So we're waiting, and then my mom like taps on the window like this, and then the girl just looks, rolls her eyes, and like flips her head like this and continues waiting for the burgers. And I'm like, okay. And then she says something to whoever's working in the back, like at the kitchen, I would assume, and goes around back and like looks at us and goes around back, and I'm like, cool, she's spitting in our food. You know what I mean? Like, I just got that vibe. I got that like telekinesis in my brain, and I just like got it and snapped it, and I was like, she's spitting in our food, because she like looked at us after she rolled her eyes and like smiled and went to the back. I'm like, cool, like, this is awesome. I said, I'm not eating it. I'm not eating it because it's gonna be all spitted. Girl, I ate it, but besides the point. About like a minute later, it wasn't too long after she went into the back, she came out back to the window and said, excuse me, ma'am, you're gonna have to pull up front there for your food to wait. And my mom said, well, why are we still waiting? Like, we've been waiting for like 15 minutes. Because you're just gonna have to wait. And we're like, okay, so then that's fine. So we said, just pull up here. She's like, So, okay, cool, we pull up. There's, again, no one inside, no one in the drive-thru. There was no reason why we couldn't sit there and wait for our food there, you know what I mean? So, and also, it's blizzarding and cold and windy and blah, blah, blah. So, we, like, pull up. We're in a warm car, though, thank goodness. So, we pull up, and now we're, like, at a parking spot. You guys know how it is if you order fast food. I don't have to tell you. And we don't wait that long, so she comes out. And they have, like, t-shirts on and, like, yeah, a hat and all this. So, like, she doesn't come out in a jacket or a sweater or anything. And I get that, you know, it's cold as shit outside, so she comes out to give us the food. Our window rolled down and everything. She goes, here. And my mom's like, okay, thank you. And then my mom said, can you just hold on a second? Because I want to count to see if everything's in there. I remember this like word for word like it was yesterday. Like I'm actually sitting in the car there. Like I remember this so well. I remember the smell of the food. Anyway, so then my mom says, can you like basically wait? And then she turns to the girl and the girl says, I can count, you know. And me and my mom were both like, done. Like so done. I was shocked because I'm not like a teen, I'm not an adult, but I'm like in that stages, you know, where it's like, holy shit, if somebody like says that to you, I'm like, what the hell? So then she just turns around, she goes, I can count, you know, and she turns around and goes back inside. I get that it was snowing and she probably is freezing cold, but can you just say like I'm freezing cold, like if it's not right, can you come back in or something like that? Or no, it's all there, it's all good, or if you have a problem, you can just come back through the drive-thru, or you can come in, something like that. But I can count, you know. And in the rudest, like, cool, congratulations that you can count. I hope you can count, seeing as like you got this job here, like that's great. I hope you can count. We're just making sure that what we paid our money in is what we are getting. Do you get it? So my mom's like, screw this. She's like, I'm going in there to talk to the manager. And I said, well, I'm coming because this girl's like psycho. So all the food was correct. It was kind of just like thrown in there, and I'm not saying like dumped in there, but it was just poorly put in there, like people really didn't care to work there. So we just left the food in the car, whatever, we'll eat it. So my mom just grabbed the receipt and we went back inside in the cold. Again, there's no one in there. So we walk up and it's just that girl there that we see, and my mom says, excuse me, can I talk to your manager? And she's like, for what? My mom says, can I just please talk to your manager? She's like, okay. Goes to the back, and not even like 20 seconds later, she comes back out. She was behind this guy. He was probably like 6'2", very tall guy, skinny, and he looked like a very nice guy, but looks can be deceiving. So he comes out front. Can I talk to your manager? Like, ew, I don't like that sentence, but it needed to be said. So this time it's like 7 p.m. Like, cool. This guy comes out and says, sup. I'm not sure, I wish I could be making this up right now. Sup. And my mom's like, pardon me? And at this point my mom's like, over it, done. And he goes, sup. Can't even do it seriously, like, who the does shit like this? Like, I can't. The world is so mess. Like, can you stop? The girl that rang us through made us wait in the drive-thru for 15 minutes, and then we had to wait another 5 out there when there's like nobody in here. And like as she was saying that, he stopped her. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, do you make fast food? Oh, I was like, what is that? Oh my god. I just like turned around, I was like, girl, what is this? Bear in mind, this was a while back, but I will get into the current story of this in a bit. Just wait. And I was like, well, I used to work in fast food, yes, but I didn't never treat customers the way that she treated me. He's like, oh, so you're talking about my girlfriend? And she's like, are you the manager? Because we asked to talk to the manager, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm the manager. And he like went like this to his name tag and it said manager on there. And he's like, and she's like, yeah. And she had her hand on her hip like this. She was like, yeah. And my mom said, well, is anyone else work here? And he goes, no, it's just us right now. And he like put his arm around her. I was like, cool, are we in like a horror movie? Like, are they gonna start like killing us right away? Like, we should just leave. Like, it's cool. There's like a dozen other fast food restaurants. Like, we can just leave. So I just said to my mom, like, okay, let's go. Cause I could just see where it was escalating. You know when you could sense something? Yeah, telekinesis. That was this situation. So I was like, okay, let's go. And mom's like, absolutely not. I want a refund for this whole order. My mom is the queen of refunds. Like, she'll get a refund if anything happens. Like, one time she thought there was a finger in her soup. No lie, like I just had to side note this. It was a potato. She was like, she told the waitress there was a finger in her soup. I'm not kidding. I mean, my brother were dying laughing, and she was like gagging and being like, I have to go to like the emergency room, and it was a potato. But anyway, cool. So she got a refund for that soup. Anyway, the customer service is horrible. We've been treated nothing but poorly, and I'm gonna be talking to the head manager, the general manager, or whatever, because this is unacceptable. We come here all the time, and we never treated you like garbage, and we didn't deserve that. And it was completely true what my mom was saying. My mom can blow, and she was being very normal. I thought she was great. I was like, here's your award, like, you are now the president. And he's like, well, literally nobody talks to my girlfriend like that. She is the best worker in here, and you're not even gonna be allowed back at this store again. And my mom's like, oh, what did I do? And he's like, can you leave, and this girl still has her hand on her hip. She's like, yeah, leave. And she comes around and she's like, leave, get out of here. You treat me like that, saying that I'm not kidding you. This guy starts throwing fries at us that were like on the table. I'm not sure why there were like a pack of fries on the table. Maybe they were eating them, or maybe somebody ordered them and left them, but they started throwing fries. He's like, get the f out of here, never come back, you're not welcome here again, like bye. And Mom's like, I am so calling the manager. And he's like, I am the manager. She's like, the general manager, the boss, your boss, you have to have a boss. And they're like pushing us out at this time, and she's like, bye, bye, never come back, ha ha ha, like laughing like that, slams the door and locks it, and they're like giving us the finger outside while we're walking to our car. My mom's like, what is happening? Like, who wants fast food this bad? Like, never again will I go here. I was shocked, and I said, let's just go home, eat our meal, and like let's just let this slide. So my mom ended up phoning the head of that restaurant, and they were very sorry and apologetic, and they sent us, I think it was like a $10 gift certificate or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was a $10 gift certificate and a free meal. So at least it was something. They were like, wow, I'm so sorry. I'm pretty sure they didn't think the story was believable, like honestly, because this story was so outrageous and the worst customer service I've ever received. Like, they were throwing shit at us. Like, is that assault? It's like harassment, assault. I don't even know. So we go home and we eat the meal. Food's good, cool. It was probably spitted. And my mom would not go back to that particular location. Like, there's other ones of those fast food places in the city, but she wouldn't go to that one, you know, because of that experience. Fast forward to a few years later when I was working, and my mom would come pick me up every single day from work because I didn't have a vehicle. So I would be working, and the one time I was like starving after work, and we just go to this fast food place, and it was the same one. And I was like, don't even worry about it. So we were like, nothing's gonna happen, they won't remember us, even though me and my mom are very memorable people. And I'm not saying that to be like, girl, dirt off your shoulder, but like, we are, like, we're short little girls, we kind of look the same. And yeah, so we went through the drive-thru. This time there was people in the drive-thru. The person was very nice to us, and I'm like, that's her. Like, I could tell by her voice. I was like, that's her. And my mom was like, well, let's just get the food and leave. My mom just got like a basic burger sandwich thing, and I got a whole meal because, like, hi. So we drive through, and she's like, hi, $12.80 or whatever she said, because so immediately she recognized us. So she took our money, and she wasn't like bitchy, but she was just like, cool, like, why are these people here? Recognized us right away, and we recognized her right away. Like, I'll never forget her face. Like, her face is engraved in my head forever. So we pay, she goes to the back and gets the order and says, have a nice day. So we go home, I unwrap my meal, I start eating right in front of the TV in the couch. So I'm on the couch eating. My mom's like, are you kidding me? And I say, what? She goes, look at my burger. And I'm like, oh great. I look at my mom's burger. It is, ask her. Honestly, I wish I could be making this up right now. 2 buns, that's it. There was a piece of tomato in it. There was a piece of tomato. Just 2 buns. That's all. They didn't put anything else in, and I was like, okay. I couldn't. Oh my god, I burst out laughing. I ended up giving my mom my fries and splitting my burger with her because I actually felt so bad, but I like burst out laughing. Like, this girl hates us, like hates us more than the biggest hatred in the whole world. She despises the ground we walk on, and like it was her sandwich that didn't have anything in it. So I was like, hey, I just won't go back there again. Like, that is so funny, but like screwed up. So my mom ended up phoning again and getting a free sandwich. We didn't see the guy working there, but that was the funniest shit I've ever seen. And it's funny because now when we go through drive-thrus, my mom will turn to me and goes, I can count, you know. Like, that's what she did. It's like an inside joke now, but now you guys know. 2 pieces of bread. Oh my god, I'm crying. So it's actually funny, fast forward about like 6 months to a year after that, there's a store in one of our big malls, and she was working there because I went to the mall a lot. She was there, and I would see her at the store, and we would kind of just wouldn't say anything to each other, but I was in the store a lot, and she was there too, and then we would eventually say hi or hey, and then I would ask her to help me with things to grab, and she would grab them for me, and we eventually actually like started a smiling relationship. Not like, oh my god girl, come over for coffee and biscuits, but like at least sharing smiles and hi, how are you, and things like that. So it wasn't like negative and evil anymore, but it was good. Like when you actually talk to her, she seemed like a sweet person. And people do change and grow up. Like this was like a while back now. Fast forward to now, like last week. So Dalton's friend, he was like, I don't know how we got talking about it, because I think we were talking about fast food, and he's like, oh yeah, I worked there for a while. And I was like, oh, which one? And he's like, that one, the one. I was like, oh my god. And I didn't even bring it up, and he's like, yeah, the one girl there was like the biggest bitch ever, and I got fired. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. She was always yelling at me and like doing this and that, and I just wouldn't do it. She told me to clean the washrooms, and it wasn't even in my job description or whatever he said. So he got fired because this girl was like evil. And I'm like, oh my god. So then I told him the story. So cool. Was that interesting? I don't know. But that's what happened to my mom and I. I mean, I hope she's doing well now. I know that people can change and grow and, you know, experience different life situations and know that you can't treat people like crap and get away with it. That was my story in my life, so I hope you guys enjoyed that one. So if you guys like that story, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you guys want more story times, also give it a thumbs up so I know. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys all in my next video. Bye, guys.